Hey, listen, in order for this show to exist, we need sponsors, and our presenting sponsor is Land O'Lakes Foodservice. One of the reasons I am so honored to work with them is the fact that they work with over 1,000 farms that make up this cooperative and also bring wonderful products to life. The extra melt line of cheese, the loaves, the shreds, and the blocks. These are so versatile. They're labor saving. This is American cheese that is a great base flavor for so many things. It's adaptable. And, Land O'Lakes has shown their adaptability by sponsoring me. The message is clear. They support our industry, and in turn, let's support Land O'Lakes Foodservice. Buy some of those extra melt lines of American cheese for your restaurant today. This is Niver and Niverland. Today on the show, I spoke with two dudes, Peter Sebastian, Jason Hansen of Estelle, soon to be Liliana in Woodbury, and Mario's. There's Donut Star in there too, which I didn't talk about with Peter, but he owns a couple of donut shops. Lakeville and Egan. Go to these restaurants. They are good. These guys are great operators. They know their numbers. They know the back. They know the front. The hospitality is infectious. Anyway, these guys brought me some flowers. Men should be able to give men flowers, and I completely agree. What a gesture. They are so nice to join me on my show today. Niverland, here with the owners of Estelle and soon to be Liliana.
Can we get your flowers and bring them over here?
Yeah.
I want to. I'll bring them to you. I don't rip the microphone down.
I'm loving this. So we're at Moochie's today recording this, and I'm always peeking out the windows. They're a little high, and you can't really see you can see my head, but I'm kind of peeking out. And I saw that Chef Jason arrived, and I walked outside, and I'm like, flowers? And he looks at me and he goes,
There you are.
Those are beautiful, man.
Yeah.
Fucking beautiful. He looks at me and he goes, a man should be able to give a man flowers. I'm like, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
I love flowers.
What's all the weirdness about, guys? Let's go. Look at those. They're fucking beautiful.
They are beautiful. And
take a minute and smell the roses. I honestly, I have been. In my life, I have been smelling the roses. So, I wake up and either my wife or I will go out and water what we have on the porch, and it's a simple thing, but it's so beautiful.
Yeah, I think it's
thanks, man.
Yeah, I was
those flowers.
I was taking a shower this morning, and I was like,
Weird,
was
dude,
thinking,
new.
yeah,
That's a new thing.
Yeah, for once.
You were thinking about me in the shower.
Yeah, I was.
I love so much. I'm gonna pick up flowers.
And I was just thinking about our
Do you guys
time.
want me to leave? Let's just get
out of here. And I was thinking about our time, at Maven when I worked with you, and I recall the first service we worked together, and I'm not trying to kiss your ass, but I'm going to. I remember guests walking in, and you were like, "Hey, so and so, how are you?" And the whole room stopped, and you're giving them hugs, and you're showing them incredible hospitality. And my jaw, I'm sure, was just kind of in awe, dropped to the ground, and I was just like, I'm so glad I came to work here to work with somebody that is at such a high level of hospitality. And this morning I was like, I don't think a lot of people in our industry were so competitive that we stop and say hey, I look up to you. Thank you for what you've done for the industry. And I was like, I should bring him some flowers. I think he would dig it.
I dig it. I fucking dig it. Thank you so much. It's very nice of you.
Yeah. And awesome. Thanks for having us on.
Awesome. Yeah. We often don't announce. I often don't announce the show. We just start talking. But of course, this is Niverland, Peter and Jason. Not all your businesses are intertwined.
Yeah, I mean, essentially at this point, so Mario's and Estelle and now Liliana are all the two of us.
Peter and Jason.
Yep.
Sebastian and Hansen. If you got that right. Anyway.
Yeah, you sound like
Estelle
like an
boys.
80s little groove rock band or something like that.
Yeah, I was
Sebastian
going pretty
Hansen
low
overture or
with
something,
my
yeah.
intro.
Yeah, I like that.
All right, Estelle.
Yeah.
Dope. Mario's dope.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Liliana will be dope.
We hope so.
Yeah. I think you've proven enough, right? Like you do one or two places, different kinds of concepts, and they go nicely.
Mm-hmm.
You've done enough, but
Still hungry.
it's not even close.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Back in the day, I wanted, like the Maven times, 10 years ago, I was like, I want 5 shops. This is a good way to like have a home base and have satellites with bagels. Oh my God,
Yep.
But they're like people buy them for not much money. So you have to sell a fucking shit ton of bagels
Right.
to make your dollar. Anyway, things are hard, but you guys keep going. You keep going.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I think we're still hungry for more. I think that we still want more things and we still have more ideas and more to do. And
God
I don't know.
bless you.
I've always felt like if you stop moving forward, you're going to start falling back. So I think for us, it's always been sort of infectious to have that next new idea.
Sure.
And to feel like there's something to push for and there's something new that we should try. And
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it's
No,
always
great. See, I'm applauding people who are doing it right now. Like I don't have it in me yet. I don't know if I ever will again.
Yeah.
Oh, you
I'm not
will. Come on.
Well, I'm not worried about it either.
Yeah.
I'm really at a point where it's not like I've been there, done that. I'm still doing it,
Yeah.
Yep.
but I've done enough of it to understand maybe that's not the lifestyle I want anymore.
Totally. You want to
Yeah.
smell roses sometimes.
Yeah, I want to smell roses, and it's okay. There's different roses, right?
Totally.
You're smelling the roses too. You take your innovations and your ingenuity, and all the things that drive you have kind of innately to create, and you're still doing it. I applaud you. I was at Lynette, and I talked to Ben Riens there, and I'm like, bravo. He's like, what? I'm working like 60, 70 hour weeks, I'm like, it's hard, man. I'm like, fuck yeah, it's hard. But you had an idea, you executed it, you opened it, and we need it. We need people to think positively about the business and where it's headed. It doesn't mean that it has to be all in fucking St. Paul. Okay. I'm kind of over it. It's like anybody who's going to innovate anywhere, just go. Like, yeah, I'm rah for the home team here, but
Yeah, and we love St. Paul. It's been great to us. The city and people from Minneapolis and all over have been just amazing for supporting our 2 restaurants. And like it's just me and Peter like financing these restaurants. Like we're doing it super independent, and that's why we're not opening 2 restaurants every year. Like it's get one up, get it running, build a foundation with like our amazing team of management and employees. Like you can't do what we're doing without that. And we put an incredible amount of trust into them. And because of them, we're able to slowly grow. And heading out to the burbs now is a new thing for us. And we kind of saw a lot of Minneapolis chefs going out, towards the burbs, Wayzata and whatnot. And we live in Eagan, or he lives in Eagan. I live in South St. Paul, and we're in St. Paul, our restaurants. And, we were kind of like peeking around at new spots. We did look at a lot of spots in St. Paul, but
where did you look in St. Paul? Can you say?
Yeah. We looked in Lower Town. We looked at, you've got a ton of experience down there. And, Lower Town always, to me, is like, I feel like it's almost like Gatsby-esque, right? You look at it and you're like, that's the dream. It's like Lower Town's going to like blow up and it's going to be great down there. And you guys at Dinette did a phenomenal job of keeping that little part of Lower Town lively. But I feel like it's just
I
never.
just sighed really hard.
No, it's just never. It's like never really lived up to the promise. You know what I mean? It's felt like felt like it never really reached its potential. But we looked at some places down there along 7th Street. We looked at places on Grand.
Space.
Yeah, the old salute space on Grand.
I looked there too.
Yeah,
It's huge.
It's
so
huge.
intimidating.
It's like
Fucking money
6,000 square
No,
feet.
sorry, y'all. Nope.
Yeah.
Couldn't do it. I'm like,
No.
holy crap. And yet I was like, I could do a pop-up in here tomorrow. could like work
Oh,
this
yeah.
out and do something real quick and dirty here.
That dining
And it
room's
would-
beautiful.
It's really fucking cool.
Yeah,
it's kind of
a cool
spacey.
space. Yeah.
You go modern with it, design wise. I think
Mm-hmm.
you wouldn't have to. Well, here we go. But see, I get into that excitement though. Like,
Right.
but you can't get overwhelmed with the excitement.
Yep.
You have to find a consistent momentum. You have to have some stability, or you two do to move on to find the next chapter for yourself. So like you're an operational like whiz. You're a little too smart to be in this business.
Well, yeah, I guess. I don't think so.
What about me?
Yeah.
Just kidding.
How did you possibly end up here?
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's what I'm passionate for. You know, I mean, I could have, rocket science wasn't for me. I don't know. I just love this. And I love people, and I love being around people, and I love the interaction of hospitality, and that piece of it just speaks to me so deeply. I have a weird mix of skills, I think.
Yes, you do.
And we yin and yang really well in that way. So I've got a weird mix of skills that I think a lot of people don't have. Things like Excel spreadsheets and, financial projection stuff and all the things that sort of make the bank go, "Ooh, these guys know what they're doing." But like I said, we go together, we fit perfectly. And so I think our partnership really, the reason that we're able to continue on and move is he mentioned our team, and that's 100% true. We have phenomenal management. We have phenomenal staff that do amazing work and put themselves into what they do every day. Mm-hmm. But I think he and I are a real stable duo because we keep each other really grounded, right? He's got these phenomenal ideas and these concepts and these menus in his head bouncing around. And I get to say, well, yeah, but does it work? And I'll have things where I'll maybe try to tie us to something financially driven or, not necessarily even finance, just operationally driven. Mm-hmm. And he'll give me a change in perspective where I go, oh yeah, no, that's definitely possible. And that's way better than the boring spreadsheet BS that I was doing. So,
the fact of the matter is every restaurant needs someone like you.
Yeah,
I
guess.
guess. All right. Like, and to find those skills combined, I was talking to Matt. It's kind of pissed me off, man. Like that you're smart and charming and like financially able. That's kind of hot. It's kind of hot, dude.
Well, I didn't bring you flowers. I'm sorry. Yeah.
It's kind of hot. No, I mean, it's a strange mix. I don't have all of it. I manage a lot by feel. I've literally been told that if that a mix of the three of us would be really good. And I'm more like you, I think. You're the creative side. You're the one that comes up with the dream and whatever, and then dude over here says, wait a minute, what about this? Right?
Yeah.
And then it works. And you need that. Every place needs someone like you, at least one numbers person, somebody who's oriented that way.
Yeah.
And every restaurant technically needs someone who's the creative one, who's driving that spirit. It's a nice 1-2 punch.
Yeah. And it's
a nice 1-2 punch.
Yeah.
For you guys.
I also what's important is like we both kind of like subconsciously know our lanes. Like Peter's not coming in and being like, hey, let's put a chicken fried steak on the menu because I'm the owner and I want that on the menu. Like, he gives me my boundaries and I give
other way.
Yeah.
Whatever.
we stay in our own lanes, and we both have a mutual understanding at this point that like we can't do this. We're not strong separated. Like we're so much stronger together as a team. And like, when you do a successful restaurant, like you're like, oh, maybe I could go out on my own and then I'll open my own restaurant by myself. And then, I'm not, income isn't being split two ways. But then it's like, you think about it and you're like, there's no way in hell I could do that. So like,
nobody does it alone. That's what I'm fucking saying.
No, it's hard
to your weakness. If you are doing it alone, you have to hire to your weaknesses.
Right.
Yeah, like we're the HR department. Like
yes,
if
sir.
if shit goes down, like we
phone
bounce,
rings.
we bounce, our thoughts off of each other back and forth like ping pong, like until we come to an agreement on the best decision. So, it's people who are going to open a restaurant and be the only owner. And I just commend you, because that's got to be so incredibly tough. Like, you're on an island by yourself making all these, critical decisions. And I think we both are grateful we got lucky.
Yeah. Well, all right. I agree with luck because I never fucking know. Like, I used to think I could tell when, like 15 years ago, somebody tell me a concept, I'd be like, it'll never work. In my brain. Quiet. I would never say that out loud, right? You're like, right? And then I think I used to be right a good percentage of the time. And now I don't know what's going to work. People,
it's a whole different world.
It's a whole different world, and people are coming up with great, like the new restaurant world. Technology-driven concepts. Whatever it is, and still making it good and delicious. There's a lot more of it out there. There's a lot more stuff that's sandwiches that's really good quality out there that can compete with an actual restaurant.
Yeah, totally.
It's hard out there.
Yeah, it is, and I think it's interesting when people do that innovation or whatever, you kind of get called a quack until it works, right? Sort of a thing. You're like, oh, that'll never work. Why would you do that? And then all of a sudden somebody does it, and then it's the new hot thing. And then there's, 15 of them. We've always sort of been more old school, I guess, in some ways, and sort of gone with more traditional restaurant model. But I got nothing but respect for these people who go and put together these crazy ideas.
There's a steakhouse in the gas station in Lakeville.
Right. Yeah, there's a taco joint in the gas station in Egan.
Yeah.
The place is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. They're crazy.
Love it.
Yeah.
And it's like the steakhouse is one thing where you have more money and you go ahead and you take it over and do it. And is it Corazon?
El Sazon.
Oh, El Sazon in Egan.
Yep.
El Sazon. They that's how they make their life, working in a gas station.
Yeah.
And it's like two different ways of seeing a gas station and making it work in your world for your family or whatever. And it's just really kind of amazing, like the scope, right?
Totally.
of our industry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
it's
I wanted to, I don't want to forget this. Like, so Estelle was kind of an instant hit.
Yeah, it
you
was.
opened and there was a lot of good press. You had some of the best cooks in town working for you at the time. Not that you don't now, but you had just like this real nucleus of too much talent.
Yeah, a dream team, man.
It was a dream team.
Yeah.
But too much talent under one roof probably is
the Bulls in the 90s, man. It was crazy.
That's right.
Yeah.
But foundationally, in that first year, do you think that's what set up your success for the last four, right? Like, did you have your shit together the first year and know and see the track? Were you right with your projections? Were you right with your menu?
Yeah, I mean, I honestly think I think in more ways we were right in more ways than we weren't, and that was shocking to me. Because I think I don't know about you, but I personally expected it to be a struggle.
Yeah.
I expected us to go through a lot of trial, a lot of tribulation. But we were only 5 months in when we shut down for COVID. Which actually, people always kind of go like, oh man, you made it. And yeah, we made it. But I think that we actually we benefited from that a little bit because in our projections, we expected to have a tough first year. And so we kind of had squirreled away a little nest egg where we're like, hey, we can survive for a while if this doesn't immediately become successful. And then it was immediately successful. And the neighborhood said resoundingly, like, we love this place. And we were full. I mean, I remember looking at him. It was maybe our second week. And I remember I was on Expo and he was in the middle on the line. And he looked at me because our host or maybe our manager at the time was seating guests in the dining room. It was 10:45 at night on like a Thursday. And he looked at me, he goes, are they sitting down for dinner? And I go, yes, chef. I'm like, it's almost 11 o'clock on a Thursday in St. Paul.
Unheard of.
And people are here in a neighborhood in St. Paul, not downtown.
Yeah.
We're like, in a little row of lots of houses and, it's just a little neighborhood in St. Paul. and at 11 o'clock at night, people were still coming in for dinner.
Yeah.
It was crazy. And I looked at him and I go, in my head, I was kind of just like, holy shit, we did it. Like, people love this and they're going to keep showing up for this. And
like I've had during openings or whatever, I've had employees come up and they're like, what does it feel like to own a place like this? It's so busy. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, holy shit, it feels really good.
Yeah.
But the first year is a foundational nightmare. Like, you really keep cobbling together, making things work. You're just trying to get to those numbers. You're managing your labor. You're having to give some raises. Like, things are like, they're really moving that first year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I think COVID, in a positive sense, gave us a time. Well, after we got through takeout, gave us a time to like sit back and be like, how can we make this better the second time we reopen? Because we essentially opened Estelle twice.
Yep.
Like, we didn't have the exact same line cooks come back that originally were with us.
Yep.
And we had like one prep cook originally. And I was like one of the only people who could set up the grill station because we had it was so prep intensive. And I was like, okay, we need to like dial this back a little bit. Like, we can't be, we're making puff pastry. Natal's making puff pastry by hand. We're still doing that, but like, we can't do everything.
You can't.
You can't do every little thing because people are going to quit. They're going to get burnt out. And
economics changed in 2 years too. The servers got raises. Anybody that wasn't minimum wage, like, you have things happening
big time.
Like, even while they're off the clock, they're getting raises, kind of. Like, it's a little bit of a different financial scenario when you reopen too.
Totally.
Yeah. And
commodities and everything. I mean, you look at the cost of everything and the roller coaster that was. But I think to his point, like, we kind of got the benefit of like, take a big deep breath and do it all again. I think was almost really good for us.
PPP saved us all, though.
Yeah.
Correct.
Big time. Yeah.
And
it
pivoting
saved us all. I mean,
Yeah.
there's just no way to look at it differently. It saved us all. Without it, we'd all be gone.
But yeah, I think learning how to pivot, I kind of hated that word because everybody kept saying, oh, we're pivoting. But we were. And I think that to this day, we're still pivoting in our restaurants.
Conditioning, man.
Like, the service charge goes away. Now we've got to figure out this system. And, I think COVID helped us as owners, like, be like, there's going to be peaks and valleys, like, and you've got to roll with the punches and be creative. And so, as much as I hated COVID, it probably, in hindsight, helped us all out.
Prompted a lot of change.
Yeah.
Prompted a lot of, like, made waves, people who weren't honestly committed to it got out.
Yeah.
And it's cool. Yeah. I think that's real cool. Like, it changed a lot of trajectory.
Yeah, definitely.
But you opened and then closed. You had like a ton of great reviews, and then you're sitting there like, holy shit, we have a popular restaurant. Is everybody going to support us during this? And still kind of quick to have everybody, come out like they did for that takeout scenario in this town. It was really, really awesome then.
Yes.
But we wake up to a different type of culture after that here in St. Paul, right?
Yeah.
Like, everything had changed, and it wasn't just COVID. It was the death of George Floyd. I think that probably hampered things more here. But your neighborhood seems like a resilient one. You're near the universities.
Yeah.
A lot of creatives, a lot of academics, nice density, like, beautiful location, really.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. I think that's something that we thought about a lot. It certainly was something that I think about a lot when we look at locations, is who lives here?
Yeah.
Who lives around here?
Yep.
And are they our customers? Do they want to be our customers? We're open to everyone. Come on in. But there's sort of a little bit of a calculation you kind of can figure out, like, okay, how many people live densely in this area, and how often do those people dine out? And is what we want to put in here a good fit for what those people want?
Sure is.
And it's a lot of guessing, and it's a lot of hoping and fingers crossed. But that neighborhood over there, kind of, we're perfectly in the triangle of like McAllister, St. Thomas, St. Kate's, like just kind of right in the middle there. And it's a really steady part of town.
Parents come to town. Those are nice schools.
Yeah.
Like,
And the
know,
staffs of all those schools live in that area. And
Yes.
those houses are, there's some beautiful older homes, and they're steady. They really don't.
You did a really good job complimenting what the neighborhood needs.
Yeah.
I didn't have any calculations. I literally walked up to this building and it had no patio on it, right? And it was half one color and half brick and a little fucking like a screen door from like a
I remember the old entrance.
Porch.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh yeah. Whoa, this is cool. And it had nothing, it did have something to do with the neighborhood. Yeah. I drove through it and I'm like, huh. And then I'm like, I'm opening.
Yeah.
I like the building.
What's funny?
Like
what's funny about that is it all both paths work, right?
Yes.
You know what I mean? It's just sometimes
it can.
A feel is all you need. Yeah.
Yeah. But one thing that we would never have here that I can tell you was easy to project was volume. Because at 44 seats, and a price, a per person average for if you're looking at the neighborhood, we're on the obvious upper end of that in the neighborhood. But like things are anomalies. You just never know what's going to work out where.
Right.
And I look at a building and that's what turns me on. And I sometimes don't care. I appreciate what you did there. JD and I looked at that space back when Lenny Russo was in it, and we were close to potentially moving the strip club there.
Oh, really?
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
Thanks for not doing that.
Yeah.
Even though I love the strip club.
Yeah, no, it was, we were looking at the end of our lease, and the landlord was, not working us over. But we were paying a lot for the neighborhood. We were keeping that building fucking going.
Right.
With the rent we were paying, we were keeping that association going. No doubt. With the motor. But it just didn't work out there, so we were looking.
Yeah.
And it is a weird space, but I like the way it's kind of configured, but I also I really dig that. Love the bar you put in.
Yeah. Well, we looked at it twice. We looked at it when we first started talking about opening a restaurant together. We did a lot of like bar napkin conversations for a long time, and just, we get together and talk about this dream of opening a restaurant. And then when we really started looking at it seriously, we looked at it once and we weren't sure. Blue Plate owned it at that time, weren't operating it. They'd closed it, but they weren't operating it. They'd put,
you have a landlord though, right?
Oh yeah. We don't own that, but we were going to buy all their assets. We're going to buy all their equipment and all the stuff that they had left, all the plates and everything they had sitting in there. Right. And, we met with the Blue Plate folks and David Burley and walked us through it. And we're kind of like, we're kind of on the fence. We just started looking, we like this, but I think we were at that time a little gun shy to just like pull the trigger on something the first time we saw it. And at the time we had no idea where we wanted to be, right? We were looking in downtown Minneapolis and downtown St. Paul. We were looking all over the place. And about a little over a year later, I think, we went back to it again. And we talked to him and we said, can we make a deal? We think this one is a winner. And so we're, thank you again for passing, because that gave us the time to figure out that was really what we wanted. And it just sort of worked out beautifully. It kind of just, everything kind of fell into place. Serendipity a little bit. Like, we looked at it once, we weren't sure. We came back, we were sure. And at that time, it all sort of just felt right.
And the price split in half
from a year that too.
Earlier. So we were like, okay,
we were fucking in.
Yeah, let's do it.
Rip Burley, by the way.
Totally.
Yes.
Yeah.
Great
good dude.
He was a good dude. Really good dude. And a great operator and a great part of this industry.
And they want to set somebody up, even when you're hurting, people in this industry have an opportunity to set up the next people that come into their space. Yeah. I've done it. I've made those deals.
Yeah.
I've left my equipment places to get out of leases.
Totally.
I've, done whatever you need to do, but it's nice to hear that they had your back on the way in. When they had that, you had their back on the way out too.
Yeah. Yeah. And they were great. I mean, they were, I think David sent us an email and was just like, if you guys ever need anything, we're right across the street. Cause Groveland Taps, you can throw a rock and hit it from our front door. So, they're right there, and they were really supportive of what we wanted to do. And I think, they wanted to be out of that particular space, but love that neighborhood and have been there for a long time.
Yeah.
And I think wanted to see something great go in. But we thought if we could do anything sort of like what Lenny did with Heartland, or even Blue Plate with Scoozy did a great job there.
Yeah.
You know, if we could do anything sort of like what they were doing, we were going to be so happy with that. And the neighborhood immediately said, yeah, this is great. We love this. We want this.
Everybody says it's great. I don't typically look up reviews of the restaurants of the people that are on the show because I don't typically look at reviews that much. I do think that there's always a bit of truth.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good or bad, there's always a bit of truth to consider in your reviews.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I could not. I looked deep. You like the way that people review you. They always talk about the server. They like 80% of the time.
Mm-hmm.
They always talk about, you know, the variety and the way things look. I saw photos of your food from last month, 2 months ago, 3 months ago. You know, it looks real good. Like, congratulations. Like,
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thanks.
it's not easy. It's not easy.
No.
And I don't know how you probably manage those, Peter. You probably have a way to like manage that. Your technology skills are good, and he's weeding out the bad reviews.
No,
It's okay. Yeah.
the only management I do is when we get a bad one, I make sure we reach out.
Really?
Yeah. If we don't get a 5-star review, so I immediately contact that person, or our GM contacts that person immediately. We say, hey, we want to do better. Help us fix it. Help us fix what you didn't like. And sometimes, you know, to be frank, people are full of shit and they're just looking to complain about something. But as you said, there's a shred of truth in almost everything. And so if they didn't like it, that means that maybe we didn't do it exactly the way we should have. Because we're all humans and we pride ourselves on systems. And a lot of the reason why reviews are good and why things are consistent over months of looking at those pictures is because we have great systems and we have great people who help us build those and execute those. But sometimes people screw up. I screw up all the time.
Yeah.
You know, we make mistakes.
Right.
And so we gotta rectify that and find the way to make that right with somebody. And we care about that.
Peter, also, you're still doing Tomahawk?
No, well, consulting, a little bit. I've had some projects here and there.
All right, I won't promote that, but
yeah, it's all right.
you know, like I'm feeling today, like what I need to talk to you a little bit. Like I know a lot of shit, but I really feel like just that your financial perspective on my business 10 years in.
Sure.
That'd be fun for me
Okay.
because I know I can take a few punches. It's cool. Like I know what I do right. I know what I do wrong. I feel like I could squeeze it out. You might be like, you're fine, dude. What are you going to do with 1.2 million in a year? What are you going to fucking do with 1.2 million a year?
Right.
You look at 2 million being the number no.
Oh, just in general.
Yeah. A place that's going to get you to 2 million. Cause it seems to me and clear that if you're not aiming for 2 million or above, you're not going to be able to hack it unless you are like a 4-day-a-week operation that has some sort of like, I don't know. Like,
I would say that $2 million a year mark gets you out of the restaurant every day, usually. Right. So you could get by on less if you want to be here nonstop, 80 hours a week. You want to be running the floor for services, or you're tending bar, or you're cooking, or whatever. You can get by on, far less than that if you want to be the only person, who the place relies on. But my guess is you'd like to see your family, and you'd like to, maybe go on a vacation once in a while, and you'd like to be able to balance all that stuff. Yeah. And you like to get all of the things done that don't happen within these four walls that need to happen to like just keep the train moving. Yeah. And so that piece of it is tough at less than kind of those certain markers. And I don't know if it's necessarily 2 million. It probably has to do with percentages on
it does.
Things like all your rent and your these and that and whatever. 2 million is a great number because you can hire management at 2 million. You can step outside your four walls for a minute and maybe think about what's best to move forward. But You asking me to help you with anything is very surreal for me, I gotta tell you.
Why?
Because I graduated from the Tim Niver School of Hospitality when I was 17 years old, man.
Yeah,
I used to bust your tables,
Yeah,
brother.
you're sensei now, though. Dude.
No, I don't know about that.
Why not?
Well, I will always.
The idea that okay, stop it.
He was blowing smoke earlier. I gotta blow smoke now.
You possess things that I don't have.
Yeah.
So and
we all
do.
do.
So why wouldn't I, as an owner, an operator, a person, try to gain knowledge from you? Why wouldn't I do that? A lot of us are scared to open our books, to open what we do, to show our systems.
Yeah.
Because we don't have them.
Right.
We don't have them. Everything's systemized here. Yeah, sure. I don't sit at a computer. Ever.
Yeah.
You gotta trust who does the work for you.
Right.
Yeah.
Also, you gotta be open to suggestion. I can't get better. Fuck yeah, I can get better. You stop learning, you're done.
Right.
Yeah, it's good to have outside eyes, like, no matter what it is, whether it's a chef or a general manager or an owner, like, I don't know. I feel like creating some sort of like restaurant ownership community where you just sit around and have coffee for like an hour or two once a month, we should be helping each other out, instead of going to battle against each other.
Sure.
Like,
and sometimes it's not even competition. Sometimes it's simply that in our isolation, kind of in our little places, or as many places as you have, there's a little isolation and a little worry about somebody looking in your underwear drawer, and admitting that it's that hard for you, or how your neighborhood has changed, or those things are hard to share.
Yeah.
But I do agree the community at large does find some difficulty getting together. We had a nice set of groups that during COVID that got to me, and those were really helpful, and that was survival mode though. And so I don't know when you guys got out of survival mode, but it feels like very recently to me. I mean, I've closed some places because of things, and the years have kind of dragged over for me. Just the way that I set things up just didn't work out. It just didn't work out, and it's just okay, right? But moving on and pressing forth, God, like that's the way to be. Yeah. I want to ask. Minimum wage in Woodbury is $11.13 an hour.
It is.
How many front of the house staff do you think you project to have in Woodbury
per shift? Kind of how many shifts we're doing? Are you talking total head count? We're probably in the 20-ish realm to start with, and then our hope out there is to do lunch at some point. Sure. Lunch, brunch, maybe. Can we add more to that, right? 30, 35?
Sure.
Yeah.
Can we just compute that, maybe you and me right now verbally?
Sure.
What kind of labor cost savings that brings you?
Yeah, totally. So, this is, again, I would be lying if I said it wasn't at least a little bit of a consideration for going out to the suburbs, right? Because this year it'll be $15 an hour for every employee at a minimum, right? So it doesn't matter if you're completely inexperienced or if you've been a server for 30 years, that's kind of the wage, right? And we can talk all about the tipping culture and stuff like that. You get deep into that if you want to, but just the calculation on that, you're saving $4 an hour per employee, every shift. So if I've got 6 servers, 2 bartenders, 1 to 2 support staff, a host, you go, 10 people? We're open from, we'll call it 4 p.m. to 11 p.m. So 70 labor hours. Not everybody works open to close. Maybe it's 60. Maybe it's 60 total labor hours, front of house, every day. 60 hours, $4 an hour. It's $240, right? That I'm saving on front of house labor every single day.
240.
Give or take.
Give or take.
Real rough.
Let's make it 250.
Okay. Sounds good. We're aggressive with
and
cuts.
let's say every day is equally busy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that sounds good.
And every day has the same amount of staff on.
Yeah.
And it's just consistent across
It's a very predictable restaurant we're talking about.
Right. Let's just call it let's just call it 4 days a week. That's like that, right? That would equal $1,000 a week in labor savings.
Correct.
4,000 a month.
Yeah, 50 grand a year.
50 grand a year.
Yeah, give or take.
We're gonna be open 7 days a week, so it's gonna be higher than that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, realistically, you think about that and you kind of go, okay, where's the incentive to open in St. Paul?
Say on labor, similar staff here and there,
totally.
you will save between 50 and 100,000, and maybe that's too far. 50 and 75,000. Let's say it's 100,000 because you're busy.
Right.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Fuck to the bottom line.
Yeah, totally. Yep. Absolutely.
And
it's a huge deal.
And that is, I'm not saying that's why you moved out there. What also, is it Woodbury or Woodbury or Woodbury?
You know, it's a great
Does
question.
anybody say
I don't know.
it like
We're not native Woodburyans.
Woodbury.
I don't know. Woodbury?
Hoodbury.
Woodbury? I don't know.
Woodbury.
Yeah.
Woodbury.
Yes.
So anyway, out in Woodbury, I just you see Hopkins happening, and you get a couple really nice restaurants in Hopkins.
Yep.
You see this steakhouse and a gas station down in Egan. It's much more favorable business conditions from a labor standpoint to not open a restaurant in the cities. That is one of the major reasons people are moving to the suburbs. I don't need to highlight it as, it's a big factor. There's not many places where you can look at your budget and say, I can cut 50 grand right here.
Right. That's a big deal.
What do you do?
Right.
Because you're already managing everything to what you can get it to, whatever your food and beverage goals are.
Right.
You're already managing to that number, and it's really hard to do anything else. You got your rent set up and this and that. Yeah. Labor is the biggest variable.
Totally. When you'd only cut so much, right? Like at some point, what you offer, your hospitality, your customer service anywhere in your restaurant, or your quality of food will suffer if you are too aggressive with getting people out of there. Now, obviously, the inclination is you got to cut back where you can, and you got to find a way to hit those budgets. But there's a tipping point, right, where you've gone too far, and you can feel it pretty quickly in the front of house when you've gone too far with a cut. You go, oh boy, we're getting buried. Mm-hmm. It happens,
and you have to take a chance.
Sometimes you do.
You owe it to your business to take that chance.
Absolutely.
But also, you're right, it does leave you exposed to that consistency that has given you all of those reviews. Yeah,
and it's a short-term, long-term argument at that point. It's, the short-term of I want to save money today on this service, and the long-term of am I losing out on long-term revenue by kind of, hamstringing myself with some mediocre service or some food that didn't go right. Are those people still going to give us another shot if we mess it up today? So that piece is hard.
It's not wrong to go find money. You're a business.
No, not at all.
It's not wrong. And again, I love the idea. I think Liliana is going to be a smash hit out there. Woodbury feels like there's everything out there since COVID. Like everything went up. Mm-hmm. And they got a mall and they got all this. You really don't have to leave.
No, they want
really
more.
Nicely, self-contained. And since folks from the burbs have been visiting the cities less, there's more demand for more.
Right. Well, Woodbury, just dealing with the city, and we interacted with inspectors and licensing people, and they are all just so happy to help us get a license and help us get this. They're just, this sounds, every single person from the health inspector to the liquor license folks at the city hall, everybody. What are you opening? Tell me about it. I want to hear about it. Oh, I live by there. There's a level of excitement for new things to come. And I feel like there's been a real big shift, and maybe even dramatically post-COVID, of people moving more aggressively out of the cities and therefore businesses following. And it seems like the folks out there are just so excited to have it. And I don't know, the city of St. Paul has been great to us, and the people have been great to us. I don't know if the people who work at City Hall in St. Paul realize yet what's happening and have a full understanding of how little desire there may be in the future for businesses to come open in their city. I think they act still like it's like it's a privilege to be here, and I feel like that's shifting.
Yeah.
Yeah, big time.
And like you said, you looked at a lot of places in St. Paul, and you run the numbers, man. If it's just on a numbers basis, it's just harder to do business.
Right.
It's just plain and simple. And I think you said it right. I think they do know at City Hall. I think they do know.
Sure.
I think they do know. I think there's deflection there when it's brought to them. And I would say that, bringing it forward a little bit more in terms of finding that kickstart of energy for St. Paul, it would not be out of the realm where I do believe there will be a shift, because there's enough people that feel like St. Paul is struggling.
Mm-hmm.
So I just, again, that's why I applaud people when they open businesses. I'm not talking shit on St. Paul or anybody that comes in. It's a fucking dope city, though we have our problems. Though for those people who are innovators finding a spark, they need to also have a financial reason to do so.
Totally.
And if they can't find the right financial reason to do so, where rent and the mix does not work, you won't find innovation. You won't find new ideas. You won't find anybody pressing the dining culture.
Yeah. Well, we're the same, man. We love St. Paul, and we've had nothing but great success in St. Paul. We love it here.
How many people sit at 10:45 now, though? You probably get a late crowd better than a lot of people do in town. Beautiful, but it's really hard. Those later hours are really hard.
Yeah.
Earlier hours, shit, we open up at 4:30, and I'm like, wow, people eat early, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know.
Big time. Yeah.
I didn't know. I'm like, 4:30 is dope.
Yeah, our bar opens at 4, and there's people knocking on the door at 3:58.
Yo, man, didn't you say?
Everybody's working from home now.
That's another thing.
That's a piece of it too. Yeah.
That's another thing with going to Woodbury is like you were talking about, are people like just staying in their city? It's almost like New York, where people just live in their neighborhood and they don't go out. Like,
why wouldn't they want their neighborhood to be cool? Why would you drive 12 miles?
Well, that's the other scary thing.
It's like, I just think it's a matter of convenience. That was one of the habits we learned in COVID, is we want the most convenient shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's changed how we dine. It's not convenient.
Yeah,
it's not convenient.
It's
not
also
safe. It's not convenient.
Mm-hmm.
And I can go right there 2 miles away
and
get something okay.
Mm-hmm.
You are going to up the ante.
That's the goal.
You're going to up the ante.
Yeah,
it's
the
a
goal.
dope thing. Chef, you hired Mackenzie Edinger.
Yes. I feel like we won the lottery. Like we got the first overall pick in the draft.
Great. She's so great.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that a lot of my people have found homes with you in different ways. And I say my people, just people that I've worked with that I admire.
Mm-hmm.
And they're in your midst. And it means a fucking ton to me that she's working with you. I have so much. She's just grown so much every year that I've worked with her.
Yeah.
Every year.
Awesome.
So you can expect more.
Yeah.
You can.
And
you may not need to ask for it.
I followed her from afar.
Get her on trips.
Yeah.
Get her on trips. She and Walker go on trips and they come back illuminated. I'm telling you, it's an investment that's so worth it.
Right on.
She's been impressive so far.
Yeah,
she's
just
like
beast.
Yeah.
So
and
creative.
I knew she was good.
But she can do the fucking work, man.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so exciting.
Yeah.
I'm stoked for you guys.
Yeah.
Opening a place,
so
like I get my hair on my arms standing up a little bit. That's dope.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
We've started.
Nicole's too. They're gonna help you out.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Just a rock star. She's unbelievable too. So she was looking for kind of an in-between sort of role, like something that was really flexible, because she's got her family and stuff. And I think we found a great fit for her. So,
I do too. Like she's my consigliere, in a way. Like she has been my lawyer and told me what to do, and kind of directed me throughout, the things. She's who I hired to fill my weaknesses.
Yeah.
And so it's really sweet to have her out there. I know it happens when you have people like that. And so I know that Liliana is already a success in a lot of ways, right? Because you're actually going to open it. So don't forget the opening is part of your success. And foundational, right? Obviously. But that you have good people in there, that culture will come from. Culture will come from that.
Yep. Yeah. And that's the biggest thing that
you set it up, but you're gonna get backed up.
Yep.
It's cool.
Yeah. You got to have a good team. And
cooking's important, and talking to people and hospitality is important, but like being a person at work with the people you work with, trying to get better every day.
Yeah.
I mean, it ain't easy.
It's hard to light that fire in somebody else. And so when you see it reflected, you just kind of treasure it. You're like, oh, this person loves what I love. Like, and I've seen that with Kenzie. I've seen that with Nicole. I've seen that with, all of our team. And we're bringing over some phenomenal talent from Estelle, Seth, who runs our bar program, is going to come over. Tim Schaff, who ran our bar program when we opened Estelle, is going to be our GM. So we've got this like kind of dream team again to open this place. And it just feels really good. It feels really good to see that reflected, that passion.
I get to drive 12 miles out to Woodbury to go to eat now, and that's just fucking fine for me. And there's no river. Is there a river? No, there's no river.
I don't think there's a river.
Yeah.
You could cross the river, I guess, if you really wanted to.
No. There's no river, but I'll drive to 12 miles to come eat at your joint, and folks from Minneapolis will too, because good food's good food.
Yeah,
good food's good food. It brings people from a long way. You're also taking advantage of what's happening just across the river in Hudson. Hudson is a burgeoning little town. There's a lot of money there. Those 10 miles or whatever distance it is from 10 miles. Maybe 10 miles from Hansen. There's some really, in Stillwater, there's some really great operations there, but still in a small town like that, you see the same places over and over. Right. Oleo's been a nice success. And I think you can give yourselves, some sort of basis on, where you're going to be. Like the people that go to Oleo and Bayfield are going to go to Woodbury.
Right.
Absolutely. They might be from Woodbury. Just it's good.
Yeah.
And there's a need out there.
Yeah. Well, Lake Elmo is the fastest growing suburb in the cities right now.
Makes sense.
Yeah. I think people are just looking for some more space, and that's right across the highway. Yeah. So we're right there.
Chef, your food's always been consistent. And really, really good. When you have to slim a menu down a lot, it can even to us feel sometimes like too little because we want to offer so much. But choice is ultimately, in my opinion, the devil at this point. Okay. I call menus focused, not small.
Yeah.
I have a little teeny tiny place here and there's a decent amount on our menu. But what is your viewpoint on how much you have to offer to the clientele, say in Woodbury? Like, how much do you have to play to the guests of Woodbury with your food versus Estelle?
Yeah, I'd say it's something Kenzie and I are definitely talking about. Everything out there is a lot of chains and Applebee's and Culver's and families that are on the fly. And whereas in St. Paul, it's a food town. Like we got James Beard chefs with restaurants here, and James Beard owners nominated. Congratulations. And so, is going to restaurants going to be like an independent restaurant that's chef driven food and service, like something people are going to go to out there? We don't know. That's part of the gamble. Are they going to want cannoli with chicken liver mousse in it? Or are they going to want to go to Applebee's and get unlimited boneless buffalo wings? Like,
that's a fucked up question, man.
Those are things that go through my mind.
Yeah, but you do have to think like that. Can I? But the demographics out there tell you different stories than they do in St. Paul, even in your neighborhood there. Like the demographics really do speak to the opportunity. Really.
Yeah, and I think having
big restaurants have tried out there. They build big fucking restaurants out there.
Yeah.
They're like weird. They look like a clubhouse for like a TPC golf course somewhere, right?
It's like a mega
and they're
church.
open. It's like, holy shit, they have like 300 parking spots.
It's an IKEA.
Yeah, like wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nuts.
And ours is small. It's in between a Dunn Brothers and a Dino's Euros, and it's 120 seats.
With the patio, it'll be about 120 seats.
So
It's
similar to Estelle, and you know, coming up,
number.
coming up with the menu with Kenzie, like it's awesome. Like I love collaborating. We're working on it together, and she has so many amazing creative ideas, and you know, it's cool because there's like we both wrote down a bunch of ideas, and then we had our first meeting, and we both had like a Dago sandwich on our menu. And so we're like, you know, going through that creative process, and like, it's cool to have like a similar vision. But I definitely think like for opening, well, you know, it's not going to be classic Italian, American Italian. It'll have, you know, influences of that, but we always want to be like approachable, but different. Like, have that a little bit of twist.
It's not easy to do with pasta, but it's certainly a platform for so many different varieties of things.
Yeah.
Tradition is good, but you know, like you want to make good food.
Yeah.
Pastas, people want that.
Like,
People want it.
yeah, we went to New York. We ate at Don Angie, which is an awesome, amazing restaurant. It's probably one of my favorite restaurants, like right now. And it's a husband and wife, and they do like really cool Italian inspired, but it's not necessarily, you know, a traditional chicken parm or whatnot. And, you know, super cool pastas, and, you know, we're kind of inspired by that. But also, you know, having mothball with meatballs, where it's like similar to spaghetti and meatballs, but it's a different noodle, and maybe we'll put some guajillo chilies in it instead of like red pepper flake, you know, or a chicken parm, but you know, we're messing around with like a pepperoni sauce instead of a marinara. Like having a couple of those familiar things, but then like going out and doing, you know, letting Kenzie be creative. Like you don't want to put shackles on an artist. I'm not trying to sound that sounds douchey or not, but like she's super creative.
Yes, chef.
Like
she is well prepared to be with you guys and to execute. Absolutely. And I think what you're saying sounds so fucking palatable, right? But you know, and reaching can be dangerous, but not every item has to be for the guest.
Yeah. That's
it
true.
can't be that way.
No. Yeah.
And it can be that way. We see it a lot. There's a lot of same. But you just have to do a few dishes for the guest.
Yeah. And then,
does that sound unhospitable?
Yeah.
You can't, you know what I mean, right? No. You just, and then so you do a sandwich that sounds familiar. You do, you know, pasta and meatball sounds familiar, but there are ways to rethink these things and have them be just different. And then you can take some chances. Yeah. You got to push them.
Yeah. I think sometimes the guest doesn't know what's for them until they try it.
Be pushed.
Yeah.
We hope so.
Yeah. No, they do. They do. No, they're dying. They're craving for it. Yeah. You know, like you just, and I'm not saying you would, you know, but I think it's important to know you don't want to undermine the way you want things to feel to accommodate everybody's needs or desired outcome, or the way that they see that they want your business. You know, like you really do have to stand your personal ground on what we're executing, that this is for everybody, and you might learn a little something while you're here, but there is something familiar just in case. And yes, your kids are going to be okay because this is super flexible cuisine. We're good, man. Like we're good for you, you know?
Yeah.
But you know, you don't want to lose that push either, because, you know, that's the fun that we get out of it.
Right.
That's the fun.
Yep. If you're not curating that experience and pushing them forward a little bit, you know, there's kind of no point really in some ways, you know, from a perspective.
One of the things that just proved to me Kenzie's skill and also Walker's skill was the way that they closed Dinette, and they were inspired. They were inspired, and their food was just delicious. It was some of the best food we've ever put out. They finished so strong. They believed in it so much. They cooked with a sense of humor. They cooked with their hearts. You know, things were velvety. They felt the right way. They have the right senses.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And it will come through, and people in Woodbury will know that this is different. They may not know why, but they will know it's different. It's gonna be real fucking cool.
I appreciate that, man.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Oh, I'm stoked.
Yeah,
we are too.
It's important that we give props to the folks in our industry that are working on getting open and like supporting those visions. Aubergine, they did a pop-up here and the food looks so fucking good.
Yeah, it did.
Like
I want to eat that
my
food.
breath away.
yeah.
Right. Just a real stylistic, you know, I don't want to say West Coast, but just a real kind of like rusticity, but also stylish as fuck, an angle that we don't always get here. And they want to end up in St. Paul, and I'm like, yeah, baby.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
huge.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah.
Like, that will be so important for this city to support, because it's the same people that go to your place. It's the same people who come to my place. They have begun to expect St. Paul, fucking Hyacinth and Abraham are just doing a great fucking job right now. You know, we had food at Red Rabbit, and Adam Eaton's running the show behind the scenes of all those.
Oh, awesome.
It's really good, man. Like,
I'm sure.
Like super consistent, you know. And it's like, you got this Italian here, you got this Italian here, and I go get punch pizza. Like, it's, you know, we do have a nucleus still.
Meritage.
Oh,
Amazing. French onion soup. Come on.
So classic.
Yeah.
So glad that you brought them up, because, you know, they really are like an important restaurant to the city. Like they through all the ups and downs of the Kincaids and some of the other chains that have happened there, they haven't, like, say, changed a shit ton, and I just admire it, because everything they do though is classic, and they're still out there doing it so well. It's really dope.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They've gone through their personal things and through COVID and all those things. I really admire them for keeping it together, and it's a great place.
Yeah.
It is.
It's a lot of strength.
Yeah. And we just need
to
more
keep
and
doing
more and better places to continue coming.
That's right.
And then it builds
and
for
we
all
need
of
a
us.
city that shows us an opportunity to build the future in it. That's what we need.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's what we need, because we're going to press forward now. Like, I'm glad knowing, like, the minimum wage stop July 1st. There's the last raise.
Yep. That's it.
Okay. The last fucking raise. It is.
For now.
Yeah. Well, okay. I will fight harder next time.
Yeah.
Like, nobody heard us.
No. And I
Nobody heard us.
feel like it's just a lack of perspective, maybe. Like, if you talked about open up your books to whatever, like, I think we'd be glad to talk about what that actually means.
Oh, my fucking
for us,
books. Yeah,
right?
I ain't embarrassed about it. It's
No.
just hard, man.
Yeah, totally.
You know, you know, you can go in a place like this. You can go from a $17,000 week to a $32,000 week.
Yeah, everybody thinks we're millionaires because we own restaurants.
Yes, but you need five.
Come
to
look
stay
at our-
afloat, bro.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
why you're.
Economies of scale, my friend. You got to get big
Yes.
enough to make it all work.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
Yep.
And so your hustle, it's a worthy hustle. You two should be the two doing this. You two should be the two expanding.
That means a lot. coming
Thank
for
you so
man.
much.
be.
Truly.
No, we're all benefit because of it, and that's what I'm saying. I applaud you right now for, like, plugging ahead and firing off another good one. I know you're gonna.
Thanks.
Yeah.
That means
Thank
a lot.
you.
Yeah. All right. What else? Where are we? It was about an hour, maybe just under. Let me check my notes. I actually had 2 minutes.
I was thinking when you were talking about working at Maven that we both got to witness Tim's hospitality, but like firsthand, but 15 years apart.
Yeah.
Was
It's
I all
amazing.
right to work with?
You're
Back
awesome,
then?
man. You know
Back
what?
then.
Actually, I was thinking about this about coming today. I was thinking about
All
this
right, so
yesterday.
we worked at Axel.
At Axel's River Grill in the village of Mendota.
I had a tie.
Yeah,
That was
everybody had
like
a tie.
wine bottles
Oh,
that
yeah.
were like upside down.
I
and,
remember
like,
the
fit
wine
together.
bottle tie. Damn right I do.
I can still write my fucking name
Upside down in a
for you,
crayon?
baby. Yeah, I used to be able to do a little heart.
You got to write it in crayon.
Yes. Well,
Yeah.
I don't have a crayon, but I
No,
can
that's all
do
right.
it.
That place was special.
Thank God I didn't write Timothy. It would have
Oh, that would have been no good.
no, it was
That place was
special.
cool. It had a lot of the elements of hospitality that I still value today.
Linda was such
What a legend. That
a
lady
total
was.
legend.
Yeah.
Well, they both are. I mean,
Totally. And Charlie too.
Like,
Yeah. Well,
still
talk
to
about
this
yin and
day,
yang, right?
I get
Same
in a
people.
room and I see Charlie and I want to fucking hear what he says.
Totally. Yeah,
I want to hear what he
he's
says. I just want to
brilliant,
stand
man.
next to him.
He is. He's brilliant.
All kinds of business.
Yep. Absolutely.
Fucking guy.
Yeah.
They're like you with the numbers.
Yeah.
And they really, really are. And you know, Tig and Steven really jumped into an operation that like got them way over their heads, but it was firm and it was set up right. And
Yeah.
Charlie was still there
Yeah.
with them.
It had the right
nurturing.
guardrails.
Yes,
Yeah,
fuck
for sure.
Yes, what a dope scenario.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep. And those guys are awesome. I love both those guys. So
Yeah.
I'm glad that they got the opportunity to jump in and do that. So
And then you're nice to mention hospitality, but we all have our brand of doing so. I think sometimes, you know, when it was the best, like one of the best feelings ever to get nominated for hospitality. It really
Totally.
was.
Long overdue.
Oh,
absolutely,
thanks,
man.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Sure, you know, like I put a
I
lot of
think so.
time in, and it means a lot to me, and there's a lot of that. But hospitality is done different ways all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't follow up on Google reviews ever.
Yeah.
I don't want somebody to leave, right,
Mm-hmm.
and be able to write it.
Totally.
I have 44 seats. I can look at every guest in the eye while they're here,
Yeah.
and I do.
Mm-hmm.
It's like easy to feel me in the room. Okay.
Oh yeah.
It's not much of a, but it's not much of a trick when it's you,
Right.
like me.
Mhm.
It's not much of a trick. I'm one guy,
Right.
and you know I think there's honesty in the way we serve, and sometimes it's like, you know, like with the guests, it's just you know like there's some truth in it. It's not always ass kissing. It's always really nice, but it's not really a submissive type of hospitality.
Sure.
I don't want it to be.
No.
Hey, how you doing? You know, it's more of a, you know, confronting you with our service in
Well, it's
a
your,
way.
it's
like,
your place.
that's
You're-
right.
You
And
host
that's-
them here.
And that's the sense they get. It's not that I follow up on their Google review or give them a birthday card when they arrive
Mhm.
for their birthday when they've noted it.
Mhm.
It's not. I don't do those things.
No.
And I'm not trying to make it sound like I'm an asshole, but I don't have all of that. I know how to do that hospitality,
Right.
but I don't have that all say right up here. Like that's not exactly what's important to me.
Right.
But y'all, with multiple restaurants, right, are extending the idea of hospitality, and it's not about one person. I was always fearful it would be about me
Right.
because I don't want it to be about me. And I've been lucky enough that, like y'all, like when you hire right, you hire people who can just be themselves, right? Like you hire the person, not the application.
Right.
The experience is good, yo,
Yeah.
but attitude is better.
Yep.
Big time.
So, you know, finding your way through hospitable moments while you're not around is very difficult. So how do you guys do it? And how much of hospitality is the back of the house and how much of hospitality is the front of the house, you know?
I don't know. I feel like for us, it's kind of 50-50, truly. And that's a lot of the way we work together. But part of our hospitality is, one, we systemize. We try to systemize as much as we can, as much as you can, with something that is so much feel based, like what hospitality is to me. You know, the birthday card and all those little things and the following up on Google reviews, that's like just sort of the nuts and bolts of it. The fun part, you know, the part that really makes someone's experience special is floating through a room and being able to connect with someone really quickly and really personally and make them feel special or make them feel like they're in a really special place. That piece of it, what you do and what I try to do when I'm in-house
do.
and what we try to convey to our management teams is to take care of the nuts and bolts, and then you get to have the fun part, which is, all of those things. So it's a lot of systems, and it's hiring the right people.
Yep.
But the kitchen has just as much to do with that as anybody. Like, we will send gifts, we will do a little extra, we will, all those little things are hospitality too. And I feel like cooks, in my opinion, feel sometimes like they don't get the fun part. They get the grind and putting food on plates, and that's beautiful, and it's artistic, and it's enjoyable, I'm sure, but they don't always get to see what that makes someone feel.
Well, how important the choreography is to every table's timed experience.
But Estelle, we're lucky because we have that counter right at the chef's counter where there's 8 seats where you can sit and watch the line work. And that, to me, has created a system of hospitality from the kitchen to the guests.
Broke down a barrier.
Direct.
Broke down a barrier.
There's a direct line of communication there.
It's beautiful.
But you can't make somebody's experience great without phenomenal food. You just can't.
You just but every time I've walked into Estelle, and it's been multiple times, every time I've walked into Estelle, the greeting's always great. The service is always great. And I know people who work there too, and I know how good they are, but the folks that I don't. And that's really about that person. There's some things like technique and this understanding a system just sets the expectation and the standard. When you're clear with it, then you give it to the person who understands the set of standards and expectations. Here anyway, that person gets to be exactly how they want to be, right? Mm-hmm. But it's still within the culture.
Yeah.
And it's an interesting fit. It's an interesting thing to multiply.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think also another thing is going off of like the team aspect of it is like building a foundation of employees that all want to work with each other, like to work with each other, love each other, are proud to be at the restaurant they're at, like proud of their work. They're professional. They show up. They work their ass off. They all treat each other with respect. Like there's no toxicity. Like if there is toxicity, it's our job as owners to like get that out of here.
It's not allowed.
Yeah.
And it's
fast.
It's our most important thing we deal with.
Can't fire
We're
fast enough. Yeah.
No, we're done with that shit.
You gotta. You protect the culture. It's a big thing for us is taking care of that.
But there's a lot of shitty people that own restaurants. No offense. Like any businesses, a lot of shitty people, and you hear employees say it. I've never worked in a place where I'm treated like this. Mm-hmm. That's offensive. Mm-hmm. I know that's offensive. Like that's what we have to get over.
Yep.
Because culture can be provided, and it doesn't have, and it's got to be nurtured. I love the idea that small businesses have that connection. Once you get larger, those connections are gonna you just have to have those right people in the right places, and if they trust you as owners, that's really the first step. They have to trust you as owners to buy in.
Yep.
To buy in to you as a person.
Right.
It could.
Yeah, I mean,
because they can see it. Like I can be a star chef or whatever, and that's why I'm in the joint. And ultimately, I'm gonna take everything I can from that person, and I'm gonna go.
Right.
But people who work in our restaurants stay.
Yep. And that's the best compliment ever. Like
it's the best fucking compliment.
You could be the best chef in the world, but if you're an asshole to like the dishwasher, the Garmo guy, like get the fuck out of here.
Get the fuck out of here.
We don't have time for that. And I feel like when you have this happy place where your employees can come work at and feel like they're getting paid properly and feeling like their work is the right amount of work and care, that's where it's going to bleed into the great service, the hello at the front door.
Nothing that comes before that.
Yeah.
Okay. I have been it's just like there's no secret. There's no fucking secret. It's just good people treating people well.
Yeah.
Inside first. If they don't feel safe, they can't project safety. They can't project confidence. They can't project knowledge in a true way.
Right.
Without feeling like their employer has their fucking back.
Yeah.
There's just
They gotta be willing to go to work.
Is that a secret? No, that's just not done well.
Yeah.
A lot of places.
Yeah, I think owners get entrenched in too far in some of those nuts and bolts things, or maybe too far in the financial turmoil that can be this business, and they forget why we're here. We're here to make exceptional experiences for
Everyone
people.
happy.
And that includes, it starts with making your staff happy. And that's actually something that Linda was great at, was making.
Oh my God, they stay forever. We had like 25-year, 30-year servers.
I remember her walking through.
Seriously.
Oh yeah. I remember walking through at Axel's, and I was bussing tables, and I watched her around Christmas time walk through and just hand envelopes to every single line cook.
We chef.
And she was just like, she knew they worked their ass off, and she knew that those 4 guys pumped out,
We chef.
250 seats worth of perfect steak or
Walleye.
buttery walleye with almonds on top, and
Dope.
all that stuff was phenomenal. It was perfect.
They
But
really-
she took care of them and all the servers and all the bar staff and even me. Charlie and Linda knew my name, and I was a 17-year-old kid who bussed tables, and they knew who I was. That to me was cool.
Yeah.
And it was amazing that they would say hi to everybody, and they knew everybody's name, and they knew who worked where. And
Yes.
all that stuff means a lot. Because we're in the business of hospitality, and you have to be hospitable to your people first,
Yeah.
or they can't pass it on.
The job I had right before I worked there was Martini Blue in the Grand Hotel in downtown Minneapolis. It was like it was owned by Lifetime Fitness, and
I've seen a picture of you shaking a martini in that place, I think.
I didn't know
No?
what to do there. Yeah, well, yeah, I probably did. It's
Yeah.
probably me working it.
Uh-huh.
Oh shit, where was I going with this?
I'm sorry.
No.
Yeah, but the
We were just talking about bring me back.
owners knowing your name and people taking care of you that way, and Martini Blue.
Yeah. It's a Martini Blue. Fuck. I had a really good story.
Damn it.
I know. I know. I
I had to tell you that I saw that picture because I thought of it immediately of a baby-faced Tim Niver shaking a martini.
Yeah. Oh, that's just crushing me because it was funny. Martini Blue was kind of a wild time, though. I got asked to have a threesome on my first night I worked there.
After a couple
Like in
martinis.
the sauna at Lifetime or what? Like what
No,
was?
2 employees.
No, I get that. I meant like where were we gonna go? Like just behind the bar, or they were gonna take you to a room? or what was the whole
She
idea?
walks up to me and she goes, "Hey, this is a great first day." And I'm like, "Yeah, I think so too. It's like nice to meet you or whatever." And she goes, "Me and her are gonna go down to is it Urban Wildlife or whatever?
Yeah,
Urban-
that's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Urban Wildlife.
Yeah, I think so.
And both of us would really like you to come."
Damn.
That was my first night of work there.
Wild times, man.
That wasn't the story I was gonna tell.
Did you go?
It was fucking no, I didn't go. I did have a troubled marriage at the time. I did have a troubled marriage.
Oh, okay. Smart move.
My doing. Like,
Okay.
Like I think this is the thing. As men, you can give flowers to another guy, and I think as a man, you have to be able to admit that you're imperfect and you're not always driven by your brain at the right time, and you can be impulsive or angry. And you need to talk to somebody about it. You need to share your feelings. You need to share your mistakes with other men so they understand when they too get to that point, they don't have to shelter themselves out like they're a bad person forever because of the mistakes they made.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Forgiveness is so forgotten.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Anyway, we've strayed. Hospitality is the name of the game for you guys. I know that you will extend it out to Woodbury. I didn't really have. I had a few notes, but I just knew it would be easy talking to you. Like I say, I've worked with both of you in just different times of our careers, and so we know each other. We have personal experience, and I think you're the right guys to be doing this right now.
Thank you
Thanks
so
for that,
much.
man.
Yeah,
It means a lot.
and you
Yeah.
have such
That's
good
huge.
people with you, and I admire what you're doing, and you can be the dudes. You can be. You just have to know that you already are. You know.
Thank you
Appreciate
for
it.
the
you're doing
encouragement.
Great fucking work.
I think that's
So-
another thing that's hard to come to terms with sometimes too. You talked about admitting your mistakes and all that. I think sometimes it's hard to accept that you've maybe succeeded already in some ways. at least that is for me.
I've just learned this, Peter. I'm 55, and I'm taking a little breath in my career. I'm doing two things that I love. I love this podcast, and I love Moochies.
Yeah.
And I've got dear memories of things that I have done, and my mentality has to be that all of those, though they might have closed, are successes in a ton of ways. What we don't seem to do as humans is enjoy our successes along the way.
Mm-hmm.
We have some ultimate goal that we think that we're going to ultimately reach, and it's some perfect outcome. But we don't know that while we're trying hard to every day reach it, that we will reach it. We have no fucking clue. And so you better enjoy it now.
Yeah.
Please, because you guys are good at this. Enjoy your success. It doesn't mean a gloat. It can be like a private little walk with fucking AC/DC in your ears or some shit. And you're like, I'm good at this. I am successful. And don't forget it. Because even just getting a restaurant open is a success. I don't care. I'm a good restaurateur, right? I closed the restaurant within 6 months of opening. I overbuilt it. The weather sucked. Everything went wrong. The partners weren't right.
Mm-hmm.
Those mistakes don't make me a bad restaurateur. Those things that went wrong in the time that happened don't make me a bad restaurateur. Or human. And it goes the same way. We make our mistakes, we move on, we get better.
Yep. Learn from them and grow.
Absolutely. It's a hard business, man. And it's a risk. It's a gamble.
Yep.
Big time. It always is. And always has been.
Yep.
So.
My wife takes more risks than I do. Like, she married me, right? And this is 2 shows in a row I might have said that. But it's true. You look at your partners and they're dedicated to something so dangerous and risky, kind of.
Yeah.
But they believe in you, and and you've got all the keys, and that's why they believe in you. That's why having a good partner, like, in business is important. And I really, after 28 years, having a marital partner that's been through all of this with me, they go through everything you go through as a business owner. They go through everything they go through, and they stick with you. It's a lot. Mm-hmm. She's the one with the balls. Mm-hmm. She's the strong one.
Yeah.
Amazing server.
I go to her arms, man. That's where I go. She takes care of me. I'm not the one.
Right.
Come on.
Yeah, to willingly commit to that and not be the person with, whatever the mental disease we have and keeps you opening restaurants, whatever. To commit to that is a big deal.
Yeah.
So shout out my wife, Catherine.
Shout out.
Yeah.
Shout out our wives.
Yeah.
Shout out the fan, man.
Shout 'em
It's
out.
a big fucking deal.
Big.
And they also remind of the culture you want. Because, the culture you have at home is the culture you bring to work with you. Sorry, but it's true.
Yeah. Absolutely.
For sure.
I've loved talking with you, Chef, Jason, you too, Peter. You're good at this. Keep going. There's good coming your way. I really appreciate you coming on my podcast, my work, my
Thanks,
business, my show, Never Neverland.
Thank you so much. We look up to you, and you're amazing. Keep doing what you're doing.
Yes, sir. I sure will. Thank you for the flowers.
We'll see you very soon in Woodbury.
Yeah, no doubt. There's flowers out there too.
Hell yeah.
All right.
Hell yeah.
Now, anyway.
You got it, man.
Right,
Thanks,
much
brother.
love.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You got it.